So today we're going to be talking about how to remove the clutch end bolt on this truck, and I'm going to be pulling off this panel so that I can start repairing it. So I'm going to dive through that stuff. Mine are pretty rusted out, so I'm sure a lot of mine are going to snap, but I have a clutch head set which we will be using. So that's that right there. Leave a link in the description for that, and we'll get to it. There's a lot of repair that's needed on this panel, so I want to yank it off and replace all those dang clutch bolts. So with my bolts being so old, I was using the clutch head set on there, but that was stripping out the ends. This one I didn't even try it. So instead I threw a vice grip on this end, and then I just threw a wrench on the other, hit it with a hammer, and most of mine are just snapping apart, and I'm not planning on reusing these. So that may happen for you, where if you put a little torque on it, they might just snap like these ones have. So that's how the first few have come out. Another one I've tried grinding right there. So that one should be able to come out pretty easily as well. And then another thing to note is on the outside, there's those clutch heads, but on the inside, they are 1/2 inch, I believe. Look here quick, not proper planning. Oh, look, a little chunky rust. So 1/2 inch on the inside here. So I've been throwing this up on the inside. I'm just hitting that with a hammer, and for the couple I've gotten out so far, so like 1, 2 right there, they've just snapped in half. That one I ground down a bit. I'm gonna give that one a try. And then I'm throwing the vice grip on the other side that's locking, and then we're giving it a rip. Well, unfortunately, we had to grind down 3 of them, so there's 3 of those clutch heads. Hoping to take a punch and just hit it, and I'm hoping it'll pop right out for the last 3 that I got left. Well, there you go with my handy dandy punch. It's off! So now I can work on repairing all those dents and everything. I got a welder over there I gotta get cracking on using, so there you go. That's how we remove the clutch head. So fortunately, I was only able to get one with that clutch head tip there. I had to take the grinder and grind off 3 of them. But those popped out good with the screwdriver and hammer technique. They left decent holes there too, so I'm not going to be getting clutch head hardware when I put stuff back together. It's going to be normal, so it is easier. So there we go. All right, so now the game plan is to try and beat out some of these dents. I don't have any steel to weld, but I kind of want to get stuff prepped. Like anything that's too far gone, I kind of want to cut out, like right there. And then these dents on the inside here, I don't know if you can see them. I'm going to see if I can heat them up and bash them out with a hammer. So we'll see how all that goes. She's pretty beat up though on the inside. I'll probably chop some of that stuff off. This is going to be tough to try and straighten out. It's a big old crinkle right here. So we'll see what we can do. Kind of surprised so far. A couple dents just popped right out with a couple hammer blows there. I'm working on bending this straight. Here you can see there's a bunch of hammer marks, so there's still a crease right there I gotta get rid of, but really it's, all these dents are kind of banging out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm just trying to get everything good and straight. So here I used a piece of wood flooring and I vice gripped it onto the end, and then I just hammered it so that it'd be nice and straight. And I know a lot of the stuff is rot, like clearly that is, but I want to get a picture for it before I actually start welding anything. This I'm hoping I can just grind down and weld. And granted, I'm not a fabricator, this isn't what I do, so bear with me here. This big part that had the huge dent right here, able to get it out, I just used a block of wood and hammer, really, and a little bit of heat. And then here I'm just trying to straighten all this out so it has a nice curve to it, so I'm using a vice grip and a piece of wood. Then I'll hammer this part down, and I'll just try and keep going and keep it kind of flush. This part will be kind of hard though, because there's just metal missing, so we'll see what happens. That's where we're gonna go ahead and leave it today. So we got some pretty good sized dents out of this thing. So that's good. There's still some crinkles right here, but this was a huge dent. So I'm gonna have to try and figure that out. I think this chunk I'm gonna have to just cut out and weld in some new bits. I'm not sure if they sell chunks of these fenders or not, or truck beds, or whatever the heck you wanna call it. So we'll see, because the bottom here is pretty mangled and rotted, and a good amount of this is going to have to get cut. But I was just trying to get everything as true north as I could, just with a hammer and some blocks of wood and whatnot, so not too bad. The other side is way worse though. If we go and take a look at that, I'll work on the suspension here soon too. This guy's just got a huge dent. I'm not sure what they hit on the farm, but holy lordy. So that's what I got for you. Thanks for watching. If you want to continue the journey of the truck, go ahead and think about subscribing. Thanks.